Somewhere along the way, you forgot what it feels like to shine, not because the light left you, but because you started dimming it for others who never learned to see. You made yourself smaller to fit in, quieter to be loved, busier to be enough. And one morning, you woke up exhausted from hiding your own brilliance. There was a time you laughed without checking if anyone approved. You danced in your kitchen to music no one else heard. You dreamed boldly. You didn't yet measure yourself by comparison or apology. That version of you still exists. She's just waiting beneath the noise of trying to please the world. This is your invitation to come back home to her. To turn your attention inward, not as escape, but as sacred devotion. Because when you focus on yourself, you are not being selfish, you are being responsible for your own light. And that light, once remembered, heals everything it touches. The world taught you to pour yourself out until you ran dry, to make sure everyone else was comfortable, even if you were silently aching. You called it love, but it was fear. Fear of being called difficult, fear of being abandoned, fear that if you stopped giving, you'd stop deserving. But listen closely, your glow does not come from being needed, it comes from being nourished, from giving to yourself first, the way sunlight gives to every leaf without apology. When you learn to fill your own cup, you stop resenting the thirst of others. You love freely because you are full, not because you are desperate. There is a tired part of you that believes focusing on yourself means losing connection, but in truth, the opposite happens. When you tend to your inner garden, your relationships bloom. When you stop chasing validation, love finds you in peace. When you learn to approve of yourself, you magnetize every good thing meant for you. Maybe you've been told that happiness is earned through service, sacrifice, and struggle. That's the lie that dims you. Real joy isn't born from exhaustion, it's born from alignment, from remembering that the universe can only give to you what you're willing to give to yourself. So, let's begin with a gentle truth. You were never meant to compete, you were meant to glow. You were meant to walk into rooms and bring calm, not apology. You were meant to live in a body that feels safe, speak with words that feel kind, and choose a life that feels yours. Imagine this for a moment. You wake up tomorrow, stretch your body, place your hand over your heart, and whisper, I am allowed to shine. You don't rush to fix anyone. You don't chase approval. You don't shrink. You move through your morning as someone who knows life loves me when I love myself. That is what this talk will teach you. How to stop waiting for someone to see your worth and start feeling it from within. How to focus not on the noise of the world, but on the soft rhythm of your own heart. How to stop performing peace and finally experience it. Because the truth is, your light never went out. It only got buried under guilt, obligation, and self-doubt. Every time you said yes when you meant no, another layer covered it. Every time you forgave others but not yourself, another shade dimmed it. But the light beneath is untouched, pure, patient waiting. When you finally decide to focus on yourself, you will discover what you were always seeking through others, safety, peace, and love that doesn't vanish when unapproved. You will begin to glow not because life became perfect, but because you stopped abandoning yourself. And let me tell you something radical. When you glow, you give others permission to do the same. You stop enabling their smallness and start inspiring their growth. Your radiance becomes a quiet revolution. You teach without preaching, heal without rescuing, love without losing yourself. There will be voices that call you selfish for choosing peace. Ignore them. There will be moments when your old habits whisper, go back to fixing others, it's safer. Smile gently at that thought and say, I am the one I've been waiting to care for. Because self-focus is not withdrawal, it's awakening. Forgive yourself for the years you spent chasing crumbs of love. Forgive yourself for overgiving, overthinking, overworking. You were doing your best with what you knew. But now you know better. You cannot serve from emptiness. You cannot glow while hiding. You cannot love anyone deeply until you include yourself. Take this as a sacred challenge. For the next 7 days, become your own priority. Speak kindly, rest deliberately, say no without guilt, eat as though you respect your body, celebrate small wins. The world doesn't need you drained, it needs you alive. When I love myself, everything in my life works. The glow you seek is not something you must earn. It's what appears when you stop dimming. It's the natural state of a woman who has forgiven herself for forgetting her own beauty. So today we begin again, not by forcing transformation, but by allowing remembrance. You were born radiant, born confident, born worthy of ease. And every moment you return to yourself, you polish that truth a little more until you shine without effort. Breathe deeply now. Feel the weight of the world roll off your shoulders. Feel the light in your chest start to rise. You do not need to prove anything. You only need to remember the glow is yours. It always was. And when you finally allow it, life will rise to meet your light. Because you were not born to fade, you were born to shine. And the moment you focus on yourself, the world will finally see it too. There comes a time when we must pause and ask, whose life am I living? For many of us, somewhere between pleasing others and avoiding disapproval, we drifted away from ourselves. We became experts in adaptation and strangers to authenticity. The glow did not leave us. We simply stopped facing the direction of our own light. When we were young, we moved freely, laughed loudly, and trusted our instincts. But the world taught us to measure our worth through the eyes of others. We learned that love could be withdrawn, that approval must be earned. Slowly, we began to dim, mistaking obedience for harmony and self-erasure for kindness. I remember a time when I did the same, smiling when I wanted to cry, agreeing when my heart whispered no. I thought that by pleasing others, I would finally find peace. Instead, I felt emptier than ever. The more I gave away my power, the less I recognized the woman in the mirror. I was performing life instead of living it. We are told that focusing on ourselves is selfish. But how can tending to one's own garden be selfish? A flower does not apologize for turning toward the sun. It simply fulfills its nature. When we care for our own light, we do not steal brightness from others, we add to the beauty of the world. I began to see that my exhaustion was not from giving too much love, but from giving it without balance. Overgiving is not generosity, it is fear disguised as virtue. It is the fear of being unworthy unless we are needed. But love born from depletion carries quiet resentment, while love born from fullness heals everyone it touches. The soul never stops shining. Even when we ignore it, even when we forget, its light continues beneath the layers of guilt, worry, and fatigue. The glow is patient. It waits for us to turn inward again, to remember that we are not broken, we are simply tired of pretending. Self-neglect begins quietly. It hides behind phrases like, "It's fine," or "I don't mind." But each small betrayal accumulates. We abandon our needs to preserve belonging, not realizing that belonging purchased through self-denial costs us peace. The price is too high. True connection cannot exist without authenticity. When I ask people, when did you stop listening to yourself? They often fall silent. Somewhere they remember a moment of dismissal, a time they silenced their truth to keep someone's love. We all have that moment. Yet the miracle is this: no matter how far we wander, the path home is always within us. The heart never holds grudges. It waits with open arms for our return. When we finally sit still, it whispers, "Welcome back." That whisper is not grand or loud. It is soft and steady, like the warmth of morning light through a window. You feel it not as words, but as relief. Focusing on yourself does not mean closing your heart to others. It means including yourself in the circle of your compassion. When you give from wholeness, everyone benefits. When you give from emptiness, no one truly receives. The world needs you radiant, not reduced. I often tell people, you are not here to please the world. You are here to express the divine through your own being. Your joy, your peace, your presence, all are gifts. When you neglect yourself, those gifts go unopened. When you tend to yourself with love, life begins to respond in kind. It is not our responsibility to carry the emotional weather of others. We cannot keep everyone comfortable while suffocating our own spirit. Peace does not come from control, it comes from honesty. Every time you choose truth over approval, your light grows steadier, your presence more peaceful. We are taught to look outward for validation, but peace comes only when we turn inward. Approval from others can lift you for a moment. Approval from yourself sustains you for a lifetime. When I began to practice self-approval, even silently, I noticed the world mirrored it back to me in gentle ways. There is a quiet revolution in learning to say, I matter. It is not arrogance, it is alignment. When you honor your own needs, you remind others that they are free to do the same. That is how healing spreads, not through sacrifice, but through example. The most generous act is to live in truth. Ask yourself now, where have I been giving too much and receiving too little? Where have I mistaken busyness for purpose? Notice these patterns with compassion, not blame. Awareness is the first act of freedom. You are not at fault for forgetting. You were only trying to survive in a world that praised your silence. The moment you choose to listen again, the glow returns. It may begin as a small warmth in your chest or a quiet sigh of relief, but it will grow. You do not have to do anything extraordinary to find it. You only have to stop running from your own reflection. Tonight, when you are alone, stand before your mirror. Look into your eyes, not to judge, but to see. Place a hand over your heart and say softly, I am the one I have been waiting for. Let those words sink into your body. Feel the truth of them ripple through you like sunlight on water. This is the beginning of coming home, not to a place, but to yourself. You will notice that life starts to flow differently. The same world that once drained you will begin to feel gentler because your perception has shifted from seeking approval to offering love, and love begins within. Do this simple act daily. Listen to your breath, your feelings, your needs. You are rebuilding trust with yourself. You are showing your inner child that she is safe again, that she no longer has to perform, to please, or to disappear. You are teaching her that her light is welcome. Each small act of self-attention is a candle relit. Each gentle word is another spark of remembrance. Soon, you will realize the glow was never gone. It was only waiting for your permission to shine again. You were never meant to live dimly. You were born to radiate. So tonight, promise yourself this: no more shrinking, no more hiding. The world needs your warmth. But first, you must give it to yourself. Place your hand over your heart once more and whisper, I am the one I have been waiting for. Because you are, and you always have been. There is a difference between existing and being alive. Existing is motion without meaning, a cycle of duty and depletion. Being alive is presence. It is the art of caring for yourself as tenderly as you once wished others would. True glow is born not from effort, but from nourishment, from learning to feed your soul before the world. When I speak of nourishment, I do not mean indulgence. I mean reverence. To nourish yourself is to remember that this body, this mind, this heart, all are sacred instruments through which life expresses itself. Every act of care, every pause for rest, every meal blessed with gratitude says to the universe, I value the gift I've been given. For many years, I believed that pushing myself harder proved my worth. I thought exhaustion was a virtue and rest a weakness. The more I gave, the more hollow I became. My body whispered for relief, but I called it laziness. It took illness for me to understand that fatigue was not failure. It was the soul's way of saying enough. When we refuse to nourish ourselves, the body compensates. It slows, it aches, it creates symptoms that mirror neglect. The mind grows foggy, the heart grows weary. This is not punishment, it is communication. The body speaks the language of truth long after the mind has forgotten how. Nourishment begins with listening. Ask your body each morning, what do you need from me today? Sometimes it will say rest, sometimes movement, sometimes solitude, sometimes laughter. When you honor its voice, it begins to trust you again. Healing is simply the restoration of that trust. Self-care is not vanity, it is sanity. We polish our homes, feed our families, tend to our gardens, but often ignore the vessel through which we experience all of it. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot share joy while denying yourself kindness. The world benefits most from your well-rested, well-loved self. Think of how sunlight touches every leaf without asking permission. It does not decide which plant is worthy, it shines, because shining is its nature. You too must become sunlight to yourself. Let love flow toward every part of your being, even those you once judged. Your glow is not created, it is revealed through tenderness. I have met many people who confuse self-neglect with humility. They say, I don't need much, as if needing were shameful. But there is nothing spiritual about starvation. Deprivation does not make us holy, it makes us hungry for what we already possess. True humility is gratitude, not self-denial. Every act of nourishment is a prayer in motion. A slow walk in the evening says, I am worthy of peace. A wholesome meal says, I am worthy of care. A quiet hour alone says, I am worthy of my own company. Each time you tend to yourself, you declare, life loves me, and I love life. Observe how your energy shifts when you treat your needs as sacred. You become softer, kinder, more patient. The same people who once drained you begin to respond differently because your vibration has changed. Love given to the self never stays contained. It radiates outward like perfume from the heart. You will know you are nourishing yourself when resentment begins to fade. Resentment is a sign of giving from emptiness. It whispers, I am tired, but I do not know how to stop. The remedy is not more effort, it is rest. You cannot serve peace while waging war within your own body. Sometimes nourishment means saying no. Sometimes it means asking for help. Sometimes it means doing nothing at all. There is holiness in stillness. The world may not understand your pause, but your soul will. In silence, life repairs what hurry has broken. You cannot hear guidance over the noise of constant doing. I once believed that love required constant giving, but love that drains is not love. It is fear of disapproval dressed in generosity. When we give from wholeness, there is joy. When we give from emptiness, there is guilt. The glow others admire in you is not from effort. It is from ease, the ease that follows alignment with self. When you begin to treat yourself with the same care you once reserved for others, guilt will arise. The old voice will say, you are selfish. Smile at it gently. That voice is simply the echo of generations that confused sacrifice with virtue. You are not abandoning anyone, you are remembering yourself. Imagine preparing a meal for yourself with the same love you would offer a guest. Light a candle, breathe in the aroma, thank the food before eating. Every bite becomes communion. Every swallow says, I am grateful to be alive. Nourishment is not in the food, it is in the consciousness you bring to it. Rest too is nourishment. It is the art of allowing life to hold you. The body restores, the mind resets, the spirit renews. You need not earn your rest. You deserve it by virtue of being alive. Sleep not as escape, but as devotion, the sacred act of returning yourself to balance. Emotional nourishment comes through self-approval. Every time you replace self-criticism with gentleness, you are feeding your heart. When you whisper, "I am doing my best," your entire nervous system exhales. The cells in your body recognize those words as safety. You cannot glow in fear, but you shine effortlessly in safety. Spiritual nourishment is remembering your connection to life. Take time each day to look at the sky, to feel the rhythm of your breath, to thank the unseen forces that sustain you. Gratitude opens channels of energy that fatigue once blocked. The spirit thrives on appreciation. It drinks joy from acknowledgement. I recall the transformation in my students when they began to live this way. The tiredness in their eyes softened. Their voices grew calm. They no longer hurried. They realized that the more they cared for themselves, the more inspired their relationships became. They discovered that peace was contagious. Turn every daily routine into a ritual of love. When you bathe, imagine washing away old fatigue. When you dress, bless your clothes for protecting your body. When you work, let your hands move as instruments of joy, not burden. Ordinary tasks become extraordinary when infused with awareness. Do not wait for a crisis to begin nourishing yourself. Begin now with one small act. Drink water with intention. Step outside and feel the sunlight. Take 5 slow breaths before answering the next demand. These are not luxuries, they are lifelines. Each one says, "I choose to live consciously." Some believe that self-care is expensive or complicated, but the simplest things heal best. Stillness heals. Gratitude heals. A moment of deep breathing heals. When you live gently, your entire being cooperates with you. Your body begins to trust that you will no longer abandon it in the name of productivity. If guilt rises as you rest, remind yourself you are not wasting time, you are restoring energy. You cannot glow through exhaustion. You glow through wholeness. The body cannot bloom in the shadow of self-neglect. It blossoms only under the sunlight of love. As you continue to nourish yourself, you will notice that you require less approval from others. You become grounded in your own rhythm. You no longer chase, you attract. Peace flows toward you because you have become peaceful. The more you approve of yourself, the less you hunger for outside validation. Let every breath you take be an act of nourishment. With every inhale, say silently, "I receive life." With every exhale, say, "I release what no longer serves me." In this simple rhythm, you will feel your vitality returning. The glow you seek is the result of consistency, not perfection. Your glow is your gift to the world. When you are nourished, you bring harmony wherever you go. People may not know why they feel better in your presence, but they will. Sense it. You become a quiet lighthouse, a reminder that peace is possible and that self-love is the surest path to it. Remember this truth: the body responds to kindness faster than any medicine. The heart heals under warmth faster than under willpower. You cannot punish yourself into health or scold yourself into joy. Love is the only lasting nourishment for the soul. So, as you close this part, take a slow breath and place your hands over your heart. Whisper softly, "As I nourish myself, I nourish the world." Feel how your body relaxes under the truth of those words. You are learning that care for yourself is care for all of life. You were never meant to run dry. You were meant to overflow. This is the gentle art of nourishment. The art of being kind, consistent, and conscious. The art of remembering that every moment spent loving yourself is an offering to the universe, and the universe always returns what is offered with love. There was a time in my life when I thought love meant saying yes to everything. I feared that a refusal would make me unloved, that silence would make me forgotten. So I said yes when I was weary, when I was unsure, when every part of me whispered no, and with every false yes, my light dimmed a little more. It took me years to understand that love and obedience are not the same thing. Love grows in truth, not in compliance. Every time I betrayed my intuition to keep peace, I created conflict within. I had to learn that saying no to others can often mean saying yes to myself, and that such honesty is holy. We are taught to think of boundaries as walls, but they are actually doorways. They do not shut love out. They allow love to flow freely without confusion or resentment. A garden without a fence is quickly trampled. Boundaries are not punishment, they are protection for the beauty that blooms within us. When we have no boundaries, we scatter our energy across every demand until there is nothing left to give. The body tires, the mind resents, the spirit fades. And then we wonder why life feels heavy. Peace cannot survive where we keep saying yes while our heart pleads for rest. Integrity begins where pretense ends. In the beginning, learning to say no feels frightening. The mind trembles. What if they leave? What if they think I am unkind? But those who truly love you will never ask you to abandon yourself for their comfort. Only those who love your compliance will be disturbed by your honesty. Let them be disturbed. They are growing too. The guilt that follows the first no is not a sign of wrongdoing. It is the echo of old conditioning. You were taught to please as a way to feel safe. That habit is dissolving now. Each time you honor your truth, guilt will lessen, replaced by the quiet satisfaction of self-trust. Freedom is always a little uncomfortable at first. Think of your energy as a field of golden light surrounding you. When you constantly say yes out of fear, that light flickers and weakens. When you set clear boundaries, it steadies and shines. Others feel that steadiness and instinctively respect it. You no longer need to defend yourself. Your clarity speaks for you. I remember one afternoon long ago when I agreed to help someone even though I was ill. I wanted to appear dependable, but I ended the day resentful and drained. That resentment taught me that a dishonest yes is far more damaging than an honest no. True kindness cannot grow in the soil of self-betrayal. You owe no one your depletion. The universe does not ask for your exhaustion, it asks for your authenticity. When you care for yourself enough to rest, to pause, to say, "Not today," you honor the divine rhythm that flows through you. Even the ocean retreats before returning as waves. Life thrives in cycles, not in constant giving. Boundaries are not built from anger, they are built from love. Anger says, "You hurt me." Love says, "I will no longer let you." When we set limits with tenderness, they become blessings rather than barriers. People may not like them at first, but they will feel their truth, and truth has its own quiet gravity. I have seen women reclaim their power the moment they said their first honest no. Their posture changed, their eyes brightened, their breath deepened. It was as if their souls sighed in relief, whispering, "Thank you for choosing me at last." A single no can end generations of silence. We are not here to be everything to everyone. Even the sun rests behind clouds, and yet the world continues. You are not the savior of others' moods, nor the keeper of their comfort. The world does not collapse. When you rest, it realigns. The people meant for you will adapt to your peace or drift away from your noise. When I first began to draw boundaries, I imagined a golden circle of light around me. It was soft but firm, glowing with calm strength. Within that circle, I allowed only what felt nurturing words, intentions, and actions rooted in love. Everything else simply dissolved before reaching me. The more I practiced, the safer I felt. Many of us mistake guilt for guidance. We assume that the most uncomfortable choice must be wrong. But sometimes the discomfort of truth is the doorway to freedom. When you say no from love rather than fear, peace always follows, even if it comes quietly, even if others resist at first. Boundaries teach others how to treat us, but more importantly, they teach us how to treat ourselves. Each time you honor your limits, you tell your inner child, "You are safe with me now." The one who once sought approval learns that she no longer has to earn her place. She can rest within your protection. It is not your duty to be available to everyone. You are allowed to be selective with your energy. You are allowed to pause before agreeing. You are allowed to choose peace over obligation. In doing so, you will find that your love deepens because it flows from sincerity, not from fatigue. Some will accuse you of selfishness when you begin to set boundaries. Smile gently and know they are still living in the old belief that self-sacrifice equals goodness. You do not have to convince them otherwise. Just keep living your truth quietly. In time, your serenity will teach more than your explanations ever could. Boundaries also include the thoughts you entertain. Do not let your mind be a marketplace for every criticism that passes by. Choose which voices you allow inside. You would not invite a thief into your home. Why welcome thoughts that steal your peace? Protecting your inner dialogue is as sacred as protecting your body. Your words, too, can form boundaries. Learn to speak softly but firmly. Let your yes mean yes and your no mean no. When you speak from love, your tone carries strength without sharpness. The truth does not need to shout, it shines. People may resist at first, but they will learn that you are not rejecting them, only respecting yourself. When you stop rescuing others from the lessons meant for them, you give them the dignity of growth. To let someone struggle is not cruelty, it is trust in their ability to rise. Over-helping weakens both giver and receiver. True compassion holds space, not control. It believes in others as it believes in itself. The peace that comes from living with boundaries is unlike any other. It is steady, not fleeting. You begin to wake without dread, to speak without anxiety, to love without depletion. You realize that the world does not need more martyrs, it needs more honest hearts. And honesty always begins with self-care. Take a moment now to picture yourself surrounded by a circle of golden light. Feel its warmth, its gentle strength. Within it you are calm, safe, and clear. Nothing heavy can enter, nothing loving is kept out. You are centered in your own truth, glowing quietly. Whisper to yourself, "It is safe for me to protect my peace." As you breathe, imagine this light expanding with each exhale, forming a shield of serenity around you. The more you respect it, the stronger it becomes. You will begin to notice that situations which once drained you now pass through effortlessly, as if your very presence reminds life of your sacred boundaries. The art of saying no becomes easier with practice. You will learn that you are not denying the world, you are guiding it toward clarity. When you act from integrity, even your refusal carries love, and that love, being pure, always returns to you multiplied. Remember, every yes you give should be an echo of joy, not a cry of obligation. When your yes comes from truth, it creates harmony. When it comes from fear, it breeds confusion. You do not need to justify your limits. Your well-being is reason enough. Let this be your new prayer. May my boundaries be gentle, my heart open, and my peace unwavering. Say it each morning before you face the day. The world will adjust to your calm. Life will organize itself around your self-respect, for the universe always honors those who honor themselves. And when you feel uncertain, return to the mirror. Look into your eyes, the same eyes that once sought approval everywhere else, and say softly, "My peace matters." Say it until your reflection believes you. Say it until you no longer apologize for existing. Say it until no becomes an act of love and yes becomes a song of joy. You were never meant to please everyone. You were meant to shine honestly. The light that radiates from a person at peace needs no defense. It simply glows. And by protecting that glow, you teach others to guard their own. The world does not lose when you say no. It gains a clearer example of love. So stand gently in your truth, surrounded by your golden circle of light. Know that every boundary you set creates room for more love, more peace, more authenticity. The soul thrives in freedom, and freedom begins with self-respect. You are learning that saying no is not rejection, it is remembrance. There is a lightness that returns when we stop trying to earn the right to be happy. Joy was never a prize, it was our birthright. But somewhere along the path of becoming responsible, mature, and cautious, we forgot how to delight in life. We began to confuse seriousness with wisdom and effort with virtue. Joy is the natural fragrance of a soul at ease. You cannot chase it. It blooms when you stop gripping life so tightly. I remember the first time laughter found me again after years of fear. It came softly, like sunlight breaking through clouds. I realized then that laughter was not frivolous, it was medicine. For much of my life, I postponed happiness. I told myself I will be joyful when I'm healed, when I'm successful, when everyone approves. But joy does not wait for perfection, it creates it. Joy heals. Joy opens the heart, clears the mind, and brings the body into harmony with life's rhythm. We are conditioned to believe that suffering is noble, that lightness is shallow. Yet joy is not denial of pain. It is the strength to rise above it. It is the choice to keep the window open even when it rains. A joyful person is not one who never cries, but one who remembers that tears and laughter come from the same sacred river. I began to practice joy as I once practiced self-criticism daily, deliberately. I noticed the sunrise, savored my meals, allowed myself to rest without guilt. The more I honored small pleasures, the more joy multiplied. It is not the grand events that restore radiance, but the quiet moments lived fully. Joy cannot survive in a body that is tense or in a mind that is constantly scolding. It needs space to breathe. We cannot glow while carrying the weight of constant worry. Seriousness tightens, joy softens. The soul thrives in softness. The glow you long for is not born from achievement, it is born from allowing yourself to feel good again. Sometimes we wear our pain like identity, believing it makes us deep, but real depth is the courage to remain gentle after all that has hurt us. Joy is not avoidance, it is wisdom. It knows that love is stronger than fear, that laughter is proof of survival, and that gratitude is the bridge between the human and the divine. I often tell my listeners, joy is not childish, it is childlike. There is a difference. To be childish is to escape responsibility. To be childlike is to live with wonder, curiosity, and presence. Watch a child examine a flower or dance to music only they can hear. That is what it means to glow, to be in harmony with life. When I began to rediscover joy, I noticed how the body responded. My shoulders lowered, my breath deepened, my skin softened. The body reflects the emotions we feed it. When you choose joy, your cells rejoice. They hum in resonance with your thoughts. Every smile you allow sends ripples of health throughout your being. Many people say, I don't know how to feel joy anymore. I tell them to start with gratitude. Gratitude is joy's doorway. Begin by thanking life for the smallest things, the morning light, the taste of water, the sound of laughter. Gratitude magnifies what it touches. Soon you realize how much beauty surrounds you, even in ordinary days. Gratitude and joy are partners. They walk hand in hand. One invites the other. When you wake, say, thank you for this breath. When you lie down to sleep, say, thank you for this body that carried me through. These simple words align you with the rhythm of grace. Joy is not something to find, it is something to remember. Lightness does not mean carelessness. It means living from trust. When you trust life, you stop gripping every detail. You flow instead of forcing. You laugh instead of worrying. Trust is the soil in which joy grows strong roots. Without it, joy withers beneath the weight of control. I have learned that joy is an act of courage. It takes courage to smile when fear whispers of uncertainty. It takes courage to dance when the world expects sorrow. But joy is rebellion against despair. It says, I choose love again. It is the quiet declaration that life, despite its challenges, is still beautiful. You do not have to wait for permission to be happy. The world does not need your suffering to heal. It needs your peace. Every time you choose joy, you lift the vibration of those around you. Your radiance becomes a silent blessing. You teach not through words, but through your presence. To reclaim joy, you must first stop apologizing for it. Do not shrink your laughter to match someone else's sadness. You are not responsible for dimming to be accepted. True compassion allows others their emotions without abandoning your own light. You can hold their hand in sorrow without extinguishing your smile. Joy is generous. It includes everyone, yet demands nothing. It expands the heart until forgiveness becomes natural. It allows you to love without fear of loss. In joy, the need to control dissolves. You stop demanding outcomes and begin to trust the flow. Life feels lighter because you have stopped resisting it. Think of joy as sunlight. It shines on all, without preference, without judgment. It does not ask if the world is ready. It simply gives. When you live in joy, you stop seeking approval for being bright. You understand that your glow is not arrogance, it is gratitude made visible. If guilt rises as you begin to feel good, remember, you do not earn your right to be joyful. You were born with it. The world benefits more from your laughter than your worry. Laughter clears the air, worry clouds it. Joy aligns you with divine energy. It is the natural language of the soul. Take a moment now, close your eyes, and breathe deeply. Picture a small flame in your heart. With every breath, it grows brighter. This is your joy, ancient, constant, unbreakable. Let it spread through your body, warming your chest, softening your face, reaching your fingertips. Feel how natural it is to shine. As you move through your day, seek moments that invite joy. Notice the warmth of tea between your hands, the sound of birds, the smile of a stranger. These are life's reminders that joy is always near. You do not create it, you align with it by slowing down enough to notice. Joy and gratitude clear the mind of judgment. You no longer compare your life to others, for you are too busy appreciating your own. The world ceases to be a competition and becomes a classroom of wonder. When you live in this awareness, even simple moments shimmer with meaning. In this state, creativity flows effortlessly. When we are joyful, we are in tune with divine inspiration. Ideas come easily because we are no longer clogged by self-criticism. Joy frees the imagination. It allows the artist, the writer, the dreamer within us to step forward and play. When you find yourself heavy, ask gently, where have I forgotten joy? The answer will come quietly, perhaps in overthinking, perhaps in overworking. Then stop, breathe, smile. Do one thing that pleases your spirit. It could be music, dancing, reading, or simply being still. Joy returns through presence, not performance. Each night before sleep, recall 3 moments of the day that brought warmth to your heart. Perhaps someone's kindness, a sunset, a laugh shared with a friend. As you remember, whisper, I am grateful for the light within me that created this. You will drift into rest, surrounded by the glow of appreciation. Joy is the highest form of trust in life. When you allow yourself to feel good, you are saying, I believe the universe supports me. Fear cannot survive in that atmosphere. Every smile becomes an affirmation. I am safe. I am guided. I am free. Your radiance is not fragile. It cannot be stolen by circumstance or by others' moods. It can only be hidden when you turn away from it. But the moment you look inward again, it returns. instantly unchanged, unwavering, ready to illuminate everything you touch. The world needs radiant souls more than ever, people who embody peace without preaching, who live joy without apology. You become such a soul when you treat happiness as sacred work. Joy is not selfish, it is service, because it uplifts everything around you. So, my dear one, let yourself laugh again. Let yourself move freely again. Let your heart play like it did before it was taught to worry. You do not have to try to be radiant, you already are. All you must do is stop dimming your own light. As we close this part, take a deep breath. Feel the warmth in your chest, the gentle pulse of life within you. Whisper softly, I am grateful for the light within me that created this. Say it again. Until gratitude fills your body like morning sunlight. You are radiant because you remember what joy feels like, and that remembrance is your glow. There comes a sacred moment when focusing on yourself no longer feels like retreat, it feels like awakening. You begin to understand that every act of self-love ripples outward, that your peace touches countless hearts without your knowing. The glow you cultivate within becomes a quiet blessing upon the world. For a long time, I believed healing others meant carrying their burdens. I would absorb pain like a sponge, mistaking sympathy for compassion. But true compassion does not drown with the suffering. It shines as a steady light that reminds others of the shore. You do not heal people by rescuing them. You heal them by being whole. When you fill yourself with love, your energy becomes medicine. Your calm becomes a remedy. Your presence softens the air around you. You need not fix or persuade anyone. Your vibration speaks more powerfully than words ever could. The healed heart radiates silently, like sunlight that warms without demand. Each soul has its own rhythm, its own pace of blooming. When you live in harmony with your own rhythm, you become an example of peace. You show that joy does not require control, that love does not require striving. You demonstrate what balance looks like in form. And that demonstration invites others to find their own harmony. There is nothing superior about shining. The radiant do not stand above, they stand within. Light is not prideful, it is generous. It does not say, look at me, but look what's possible. When you remember your light, you remind the world of its own. That is how healing happens, through remembrance. In my teaching circles, I witnessed miracles not because I gave people answers, but because I saw them as whole before they saw it themselves. I held them in the vision of their perfection until they could believe it too. This is love's power. It sees beyond appearances, beyond pain, to the truth that never changes. You are not here to convince others of anything. You are here to embody peace so fully that others feel safe in your presence. Your calm says more than advice ever could. The energy of peace whispers, you are safe, you are loved, you are capable. When your heart rests in that knowing, you teach without speaking. As your light grows stronger, you may notice that some people fade from your life. Do not mourn their departure. They are simply not ready for the frequency you now carry. Let them go with love. You are not rejecting them, you are releasing them to their own path, trusting that their light, too, will find its time to rise. It is a beautiful thing when your happiness no longer depends on how others behave. When you stop chasing approval, you begin to attract respect. When you stop rescuing, you begin to inspire. The healed heart gives from overflow, not from scarcity. Its love is like a fountain that never runs dry because it flows from divine source. You may wonder how to serve the world while focusing on yourself. The answer is simple. Your healing is your service. Each thought of forgiveness you cultivate lightens the collective. Each act of kindness toward yourself raises the vibration of humanity. You are never healing alone. You are healing for all. Imagine for a moment a candle lighting another candle. Does the first lose its flame? No, it grows brighter. So it is with love. The more you share, the stronger it becomes. The world's darkness is not defeated by argument, but by illumination. Your light does not need to fight, it simply shines. As you walk through life glowing quietly, people will notice. Some will ask your secret, others will simply soften in your presence without knowing why. This is grace. You have become a living prayer. You no longer talk about love, you are love, embodied in gentle gestures, in patient silence, in calm acceptance. Even your challenges become teachers now. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And begin asking, how can I bring love to this moment? That shift changes everything. Pain becomes purpose. Fear becomes understanding. Every situation becomes a chance to reaffirm the truth. Life loves me, and I love life. You may not realize it, but every time you choose peace over reaction, you are healing generations of fear. Every time you speak kindly to yourself instead of harshly, you are changing the pattern of the world. Your personal transformation is not small, it is universal in effect. Love multiplies wherever it is practiced. The most powerful teaching is not a sermon, it is presence. People remember how they feel around you more than what you say. When you live in alignment with love, your presence becomes sanctuary. You become the safe space others have longed to find. That is the quiet majesty of a heart at peace. I often tell my listeners, the world does not need saving, it needs seeing. To see with eyes of love is to restore wholeness. Judgment divides, but vision unites. When you look upon others and silently bless them, you are performing sacred work. You are sending a ripple of light that touches unseen corners of the earth. In every encounter, you now have a choice to react from fear or to respond from love. When you respond from love, even conflict dissolves faster. People sense the difference. They may not understand it intellectually, but their souls recognize it as truth. You become a mirror through which they see their own peace reflected. Living as light does not mean denying darkness. It means refusing to forget that light exists even when clouds gather. You acknowledge pain without surrendering to it. You see chaos and still believe in order. You recognize that love is not fragile, it is the foundation beneath all things. I have found that the more I trust life, the more effortlessly everything unfolds. Trust is the quiet companion of light. It says, even when I cannot see the path, I know it is leading me somewhere good. This faith itself becomes healing energy. Others feel it in your calm, your steadiness, your glow. Try this simple practice. Each morning, look into the mirror and say, life loves me and I love life. Say it slowly, as if you were teaching the words to your body, to your breath. Watch how your face softens, how your eyes grow gentle. These words are truth. They realign every cell with harmony. When you live in this state of harmony, you become a channel for miracles. They may not appear as flashes of magic, but as quiet alignments, the right person arriving at the right time, the solution appearing effortlessly, the peace that remains even in uncertainty. This is the way of light. It organizes life around serenity. You will notice that as your light expands, so does your compassion. You no longer see enemies, only wounded souls searching for love. You no longer take harsh words personally, for you recognize them as cries for understanding. Your forgiveness becomes immediate because your identity is now love itself. To live this way is to live in heaven on earth. Heaven is not a place. It is awareness. It is the realization that everything is connected, that you are both giver and receiver, that what you bless blesses you. The more you bless, the more light you create. And that light travels farther than you will ever know. Some will ask, how can I make the world better? Begin by tending to your own inner world. Cleanse it of resentment, fill it with gratitude, and let that peace extend outward. Every healed heart becomes a lighthouse guiding others home. The brighter you shine, the less effort you need. Illumination does the work. When you reach this stage, giving no longer feels like sacrifice. You give naturally, as trees give shade, as rivers give water. Your joy overflows without depletion. That is the true definition of abundance: to give and still feel full, to share and still feel complete, to love without fear of losing yourself. If ever you doubt your impact, remember this: peace is contagious. The calm of one heart can steady an entire room. The smile of one person can change a day. The forgiveness of one soul can break centuries of pain. Never underestimate what your inner work accomplishes. Love is the greatest revolution. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Picture your heart as a sun, radiant, expansive, golden. With each breath, its light grows wider. It touches your home, your friends, the city beyond, the world itself. Each exhale is a blessing. May all beings be free. May all hearts remember love. This is how light travels, through intention, through you. Do this often. Your heart was made to shine, and your mind was made to follow it. Let this practice become your quiet ministry. You do not need a stage or an audience. Your life itself is the teaching. The way you breathe, the way you speak, the way you forgive, these are sermons far more powerful than words. And when challenges come, as they will, do not think your light has failed. It is being refined. Fire does not destroy gold, it purifies it. Each difficulty is polishing your radiance, strengthening your faith. The brighter your glow, the more gracefully you can walk through shadows. You have learned now that focusing on yourself was never about isolation. It was preparation. The world needed you restored to your natural brightness so that your presence could serve. You heal not by preaching, but by standing in quiet certainty that love is enough. As we close, place your hand upon your heart. Feel its warmth, steady and faithful. Whisper softly, I am the light of my own life. I was born to shine, and by shining I help others remember their own light. Say it slowly, with reverence. Feel it echo in your breath, your body, your being. This is not just affirmation, it is recognition. The light you feel now is not new, it is ancient. It is the same light that guided you through every dark night, the same love that waited beneath every wound. You are returning to what has always been. The glow is not something you create, it is what you uncover when you finally forgive yourself for forgetting. Walk gently now into the world. Let your peace be your message. Let your joy be your example. You no longer have to convince anyone of love. You are living proof of it. Wherever you go, your light will speak for you, reminding others that they too were born to shine.